Hey there everyone, Captain BEARDZ here, bringing you another Langrisser mobile video. Let's get it. Alright guys, so today we are going to be doing a character guide on Joshua. Now, I'm not going to do the showcase. If you guys want to see a showcase of him, tune into my live stream tonight. I will be using this guy and just giving him out, just testing him out in a couple different areas. I already used him in my last live stream, and I can kind of tell you guys where you're going to want to use him. But right now, let's get into it real quick here. Joshua is part of the Princess Alliance, the Meteor Strike team, and of course his team that he carries the faction buff for, the Heroes of Time. Now, let me just go over these real quick. The Heroes of Time, I'll touch on this one first. If you have all three of these units, if you have Estella, you have Klaus, which you guys should have Klaus because she's a free unit. Go grind her out. She is definitely worth it. And then if you have Joshua, this team is actually very freaking good, right? This AoE team is insane. His fusion power buff, guys, let's go over this real quick here because it's mistranslated, guys. Of course, it's going to do the attack and defense buff like always. This part here increases range and skill damage by 20%. Understand that that's not what it does. It increases AoE damage by 20%. So do understand that, guys, that is mistranslated. So if you look at the skill like that and then you look at the Heroes of Time here, Estella, Joshua, and Klaus, it really makes sense because these are units that use a lot of AoE moves, and they're very powerful, right? So once they got that 20% buff, those AoE moves can do some extreme amounts of damage. Now, if you do not have Estella, say you pull Joshua, if you are about like, I think I'm 100 in now, 120 Trinity vouchers in now, and I don't have a Stella yet, and say you're just like, I'm done, I don't want to pull no more, I have my Joshua and I'm good to go, then you don't need to worry about running his fusion power. He is part of two other great teams, which are going to be the Meteor Strike and the Princess Alliance. Now, unfortunately, I can't give so much input on the Meteor Strike because I do not have Zoraida, the girl that shall not be named. But I don't have Zoraida, so I can't really tell you guys this is an amazing team, blah blah blah. I don't even have the faction leader. That wouldn't be fair to you guys. Now, but I am gonna say he does have a good place here. He is an assassin type, so these are a lot of assassin type units, depending on how you run them, of course. But Diehard, Joshua, and Zoraida running has three assassins can be extremely deadly. I mean, that team right there is just like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to get into that. Even if you use Zoraida and Joshua, and then you have Sherry has your hit unit just stay in their faces, and then Juggler has another one, it's gonna be troublesome to get into that. So Meteor Strike team I can see being very strong for him. The team that I think he's probably the strongest right now, until the Heroes of Time starts to get filled up. Once this team starts to get filled up, yeah, this team is going to be actually pretty deadly. But I think his best team right now is in the Princess Alliance team. You just have so many freaking hard hitting and good units in here that you just can't go wrong with this team. Luna or Shelfino as your fusion power buffer, it really doesn't matter. I know a lot of people will say, oh, Luna, and a lot of people will say Shelfino. Just understand it depends on the circumstances, right? For instance, if you're fighting bosses, you don't really want to use Luna's fusion power just because they're usually immune to fixed damage, usually, right? While Shelfino's fusion power is just kind of straightforward, so you might want to go with her on boss stages, right? For PvP, really doesn't matter, right? Now, do understand this, guys, though. This team can be deadly with Joshua. His AoE moves can be absolutely atrocious to the enemy team. Comboing with somebody like Lana, right? Lana brings the black hole to the table, Heaven Sanction if you open up that path, which are very strong AoE moves. And then you got Joshua himself, which brings in the nice little AoE moves to the table. You got Healer, Shelfino, which can bring some good AoE moves to the table. It is just very brutal, guys, and this is probably the team you're going to see me be showcasing in tonight's stream. Now, I don't mind using his fusion power buff. I am gonna be training up Klaus off cam, so hopefully I have it ready for tonight's stream, so I can show you guys her abilities, because she is very good with Joshua. But like I said, his fusion power buff is good if you had a Stella too, but if you don't have her, then Princess Alliance would be the way to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at his talent here. Now, crit chance increased by 13%. I think this is bullcrap. For some reason, when I use him, I can't really get him to crit enough. After dealing a critical hit, deals fixed damage to the enemy. Damage is equal to 1.3 times hero's attack. Now, as you can see, I got him 4-star. That's because I pulled 3 of him in one multi, which was absolutely insane. So one more copy, and then I can go ahead and get him to 5-star, which will be hype. But besides that, guys, this is really good. You just really got to build him on crit and attack. Get him as much crit and attack as possible, so that way you can always get his Dark Initiate talent to proc off to deal that extra fixed damage, which is nice. Let's go into the upgrade class section now. Alright, as you can see, I unlocked both paths for him. Alright, so the left side path, the Black Fang path, is going to be for the fusion power. Now, if you did happen to pull Estella and Joshua, this is probably the route to go. If you did not pull Estella, then you can actually go down the shadow path and be very, very happy there. This is the path I originally took him first, tried him out there, had quite a bit of fun with it, and then I took him down to Black Fang because I really wanted to test his fusion power out. Now, both sides are both worth opening, right? 100%. If you want to run Joshua on any team possible, then you actually have to take him on both sides, so that way he can run his fusion power, because there's a certain amount of combos you want to do with him. So let's go into the skills here. Now, as you can see, I'm running this combo here, which allows me to take him on any team that I want. Why? Because he's running his fusion power. So if I want to take him with the Empire Honors team, I could. Strategic Masters, I could. Origins of Light, I could. Legion of Glory, I could. Protagonist, I could, just because I have this fusion power that he's running. So what I could do is proc his fusion power right off of the rip in the beginning. I have ninjutsu here, so that way I can work on my positioning. He is an AoE unit, so much easier to position him than normal other units. And then I have this move here, which has insane amounts of range, right? This is some Lana range stuff. Not only does it have a high chance of critting, deals AoE damage to all enemies within floor box, deals additional damage to mages, so this is Mage's Nightmare, and he gets to move it again after 3 blocks. So very good move to stick him in there and then kind of get out. This is a good move. This is a good setup here. Now, if you didn't want to run his fusion power and you were rocking on the Princess Alliance or the Meteor Strike team, then you can switch it up and do something like this. Get rid of the fusion power. Okay, let's talk about Magic Eye. Magic Eye is good. Crit chance increased by 10%. Attacks multiple enemies within range, dealing 0.3 times AoE damage. And inflicts when random debuff, deals additional damage to mages. This is really good if you are PvP running your Lana, Listel, Bozell, and if you want to take a risk and not run a healer and probably just run a fusion power buffer, this is not too bad, right? Just because what you can do is just proc a bunch of debuffs on the enemy. So that's pretty much what you're going to do with that team. You could set up quite a different ways here. Now, another good move here is the Dark Demise. This is a straight one. It does have crazy range too. Crit chance increased by 15%. Attacks all enemies in line, dealing 0.35 times AoE damage and dispelling 2 buffs. This is a good move too to do any kind of strips. If the enemy is buffed up quite a bit, boom, you could strip those 2 buffs off of them. So not too bad. I wish it was more than 2 buffs. It should have been 3, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. And then you got some other moves here. Sneak is not too bad either. Double tap is really good. This is a single target though, which is kind of weird with his kit. Has a 40% chance of carrying out 2 attacks. So if you get lucky, boom, you get that double tap, which is pretty much what it says here. Me personally, like I said, I do like to run his fusion power buff, but if I'm running with the princesses and stuff like that, I'll switch it up and pick up Magic Eye or even Dark Demise, because those are both really good. Now my current setup is this right now, thanks to a recommendation from one of my stream members. They did recommend that I try out this Phantom Raid, and trust me, I tried it out, guys. It's freaking awesome. The range on it is insane. Crit chance is insanely high. It's just really good. Activate his fusion power buff, and then yeah, the only problem with Phantom Raid, and this is the only problem, is that it has a 5 freaking turn cooldown. That is mental, guys. Now, there's a fix for this though. No, it's not clock. You don't want to run clock on your boy. The fix is to pick up Sophia, right? Have Sophia on the team, and then she could just rewind and you'll be good to go. So that's one of the little fixes for that. Let's move on here. So I brought him to the second gem here. His next unit is going to be the Guardian Infantry, which is weird, kind of makes no sense because he has no CQC attacks. He is an assassin, so he's going to be attacking at a range. So understand that, guys, even at both ends, right? So as you can see, Black Fang, range 2, Shadow, range 2. So he's always going to be attacking at range like an assassin, so I don't see why picking up Guardian Infantry is super needed here. Alright, so soldiers here. So he's got the Shinobis and the Mist Dancers, which honestly I gotta say are his best ones. Firebrand snipers are not too bad. When attacking, attack increases by 10%. Deals extra damage equal to 5% of enemies max HP after battle. So this is good. Take nothing from him. If you are fighting a lot of flyers, then Firebrand snipers not too bad at all. Power them up and you'll be doing some pretty good, and its attack increases by 10%. So if you want to see a little bit more attack, you have them built up on a lot of crit. That's not bad because, you know, Dark Initiate's going to do a little bit more, right? So Dark Elf snipers, when attacking units will 100% HP after entering battle, attack and defense increase by 15%. So very good, but then you're relying on the enemy units having 100% HP. And with a team with him on it where you're doing a ton of AoE damage, that's not going to happen. You're not going to have, the enemy team is not going to have 100% HP. It's rarely going to happen, right? So the Shinobis, you got that crit increase by 18%, critical hits deal extra damage after battle, 11% enemy units max HP, which is very good, I like that. And then the Mist Dancers, which are not too bad either, crit increase by 15%, critical hits inflict 1 random strong debuff on enemies. So Mist Dancers are really good, especially if you want to see a little bit more debuffs on your opponent. You just need to hit those crits, okay? And same thing with Shinobis. Let's go in to the equipment now. Alright, so I'm still working on the equipment on my boy, but as you can see, kind of went the attack route. So I do have Nighthawk, which is going to give me attack plus 6%, magic defense plus 3. I'm really after that attack here. Then I got some HP here and HP here, and then attack again here, which is what I'm going after. Anything based off of pretty much attack and crit is the way to go on Joshua, so that's what I recommend. I might switch the Nighthawk over to Extreme Magic Bow, which attack plus 4%, units damage is not reduced in melee battles, which is very good. But it is on my Luna right now, and my Luna is actually hitting pretty good right now, so I don't think I want to strip that off of her. Do note, guys, that when you run him as a demon, which I have him currently as a demon right now, you do have access to more weapons and stuff. So if you do not run him as a demon, it kind of switches over, which is weird. And then let's take a look at the jackets and stuff like that. So I do have a lot of SSR jackets here and stuff like that, but I kind of went with the SR because, guys, if you don't have, you know, a lot of whatchamacallit, let's see here, see if I have one of them. No, if you don't have one of these equipment thingamajiggies to upgrade your SSR gear, then you definitely want to make sure you put on SR gear, so that way you can level this stuff up because it's much easier to get. But you want to go after the equipment that is attack based, guys, attack and crit based, so that way you can crit as much as possible and get as much attack stat as possible. He is a squishy unit, guys. He is not going to survive a very powerful hit from somebody like Leon, so understand that, guys. Now for enchantments, now this is where it gets tricky, right? I ran 2 different enchantments on your boy. Wrong thing, Beards, wrong thing. Alright, I ran 2 different enchantments on your boy. I ran, which I have done here, I ran Blazing Sun and I ran Meteor. Meteor is good, but I just noticed I wasn't getting the results I wanted from it. So let me go over to the, okay, let's go over to the store here, equipment here, and here we go. Okay, so I ran Meteor, right, which when attacking units with HP above 60%, all damage dealt after entering battle plus 20%. This is really good. The only problem I have with it was I just wasn't critting enough, and I needed to crit as much as possible. And then the damage wasn't all that, right? It was just like the damage was okay. That 20% happened only if the unit had above 60% HP. And I rolled a lot of enchantments and I wasn't getting lucky, so I decided to pick up some Blazing Sun pages and see what's up with that. I got the same amount of results on crit because it doesn't change your crit chance here, but the crit damage was much better and it was consistent. So this, I didn't have to rely on that unit having above 60% HP or below 60% HP. Didn't matter. As long as I crit, my crit damage was plus 25%, which was very, very good. Now, if you can get like maybe Rough Sea, maybe Full Moon, you know, put on one of these and then roll crit stats, then you'll get lucky and you'll crit enough, and then you'll be doing a good amount of damage. But I do recommend Blazing Sun on your boy 100%. So my stats here, I did not get lucky with my stats, of course, guys. I don't know what it is with this game, but I just can't get lucky when it comes to stat rolls. So I got attack plus 9% here, HP plus 13%, that's why I kept that because that's really high, HP plus 11%, and then attack plus 3%, HP plus 5%. So I need to roll more attack and I need to see if I can get a crit in there. But crit rolls are extremely hard, guys. So take what you can and just have fun with the character. That's all I can say. So my little wrap up here. So I'm going to give Joshua a 3.5 out of 5 awesomes, because the only reason why he's not a 4 or a 5 is because of his team. If there was more members in his team, the Heroes of Time, and you know, I had more of these units here, even if I had a Stella, I would say he's still 3.5, just because, you know, there's only 3 units here, so you can't really make a team out of that, so you would have to cross team him, which is kind of weird. Possible, but weird. So that's why I'm going to give him a 3.5. On top of that, as an assassin, unfortunately, he is squishy. He cannot really take a hit, so you got to play the game with him, guys. Roll him with a tank, such as Vargas or Freya, or, you know, have Sherry and Angelina stand in front of him. Have, let's see, who else can do that? Juggler is a great one for him. Estella is fantastic for him because Estella will jump in front of the shots for him. So if you have any one of those units that could jump in front of his shots, then he'll help you sustain a little bit more. But if you are running him by himself with no tanks, guys, if he gets hit, you're gonna be like, man, this guy sucks. Understand that, guys. He is an assassin, so he's not meant to really take a hit. He's just meant to deal some damage and kind of get out of there, poke you, and then get out of there. So he is a very good unit, and I take nothing from him. Where does he shine the most? PvP. Unfortunately, which somebody said this is, and it's kind of coming true, which is a lot of the new units are going to be PvP based, and I do see him very PvP based. So can you use him in PvE, guys? Of course. Would I use him in PvE? Of course. Actually, you know, with the Princess Alliance team there, yeah, I actually would use him in PvE. But he will shine for you 100% in PvP. Now, guys, I will be live streaming tonight and using this character. I'm going to train up my Klaus as much as possible, and hopefully I can use her and him in the same team. I do have 10 Trinity vouchers. I am going to be using them tonight in the live stream. Hopefully I get lucky, and if you do not tune into the live stream, Wish me luck. See you on the next video. And as always, stay positive. Peace out.